English copy of Little Women, while Anna followed along in the Danish version. For several weeks, the duo stayed up late into the night while Paul worked at the club, Anna frustrated and Magda exhausted, as the first did her best to grasp said gibberish. When the frustration level peaked, they would take a break and tease each other about their similarities to some of the characters, especially Joe and Meg, just as they did when children. Both sisters were auburn-haired, blue-eyed beauties. Anna stood 5'11" in her bare feet, whereas Magda barely topped out at 5'7". Out of all the 10 Hansen children, they were the shortest. According to family legend, both women were approached several times on the street and at the club by shady men, offering modeling contracts. Due to Anna's limited English, she did not understand the true intentions of the men, yet Magda did, and promptly told them they were not interested. A few men wouldn't take no for an answer, and continued to pester the sisters until Magda's fiery temper exploded. Anna sensed her sister's dismay each time and stood stick-straight, hands clenched at her sides, lips pursed, and eyes reflecting a readiness to back up Magda's stinging verbal taunts with her fists. Of course, the actions of each sister sent the men in the opposite direction, and left a bitter taste for the naughty nightlife with Anna. Rather than take a job as a waitress at the club, wary of the types of people she'd run into previously, she accepted a position as the upstairs maid at the home of a wealthy couple in Philadelphia 11 months after her arrival. Her grasp of the English language had grown enough to understand what was expected of her in terms of daily workload. Anna caught the eye of her employer's chauffeur, Joseph Stretch, himself an immigrant from Ireland and recently converted citizen of the United States. He admired the striking, quiet Danish lady from afar for weeks, enthralled by the woman he would later call his Viking princess. Each day for 3 months, he would snip a rose from the garden and leave it at the foot of the stairs prior to Anna's arrival for work. He finally steeled up the nerve to approach Anna one day while she was outside shaking out a rug. He introduced himself and offered to assist her in honing her language skills. She agreed on one condition. She picked the book. Late at night, many years later, by the light of a lantern, when her own daughter became of age, Anna fondly retold the story of her reason for picking Little Women. "I would know his true intentions toward me by producing a book shunned by most men. If he was a man of substance and worthy of my time, he wouldn't scoff at reading a story considered for girls." Anne was right on target. The duo began their courtship a few days later, as Joseph read snippets of Little Women to the eager ears of Anna in his heavy Irish brogue, followed by her halting repetition of the words spoken with a thick Danish accent. 1 year later, they recited marital vows in Paul and Magda's backyard on a breezy fall day right at sunset. Not long after they married, Anna became a U.S. citizen. During the time they grew to love each other, Joseph revealed why his family came to the United States. He'd grown up on a farm in his home country, and his father heard the rumors about free land in America. The Stretch family, along with a handful of friends, pooled funds together and made the trip, intent on becoming landowners rather than only sharecroppers, which is exactly what they did. They took advantage of the Kincaid Amendment of 1904 to the Homestead Act of 1862, which offered tracts of up to 640 acres in western Nebraska to families willing to farm and improve the land, as long as they resided there for 5 years. Jim Stretch became the proud owner of 170 acres in Lancaster County, Nebraska. When a young lad, Joseph couldn't wait to attain adulthood and leave the farm, for he possessed an adventurous spirit. Yet after living in Philadelphia for years, he grew to despise the city life and his subservient position. The couple talked for hours about their hopes and dreams, and discovered they both desired to live a different life. They wanted to own a parcel of land to raise